back to the HaneyBiz Project with host Mark Haney.
All right. Welcome back to the HaneyBiz Project, brought to you courtesy of Sun System Technology. I'm Mark Haney, and it's been 2.5 years in the making. But today, I am joined by the most important man in Sacramento business news, Mr. David Lichtman, the publisher of the Sacramento Business Journal, is in the house. How you doing, David?
Mark, great to be here.
I appreciate you coming on. We finally got it done. I want to get to know you a little bit. Maybe I'll start with a question. Who is David Lichtman?
I'm just a guy that loves business and loves Sacramento.
Yeah.
Really, that's what it's all about.
Well, you do so much in bringing the news to Sacramento. And for those of that could be listening that don't know about the Sacramento Business Journal, give us an overview of, it's not just a newspaper, it's a lot more. Give us an overview of the organization.
Yeah, Mark, the Business Journal is about connecting the business community, and we do it in multiple ways. So we do it through our events where we get people to get together, network, educational events, recognizing business success in the marketplace. Women Who Mean Business is one of our big award programs, 40 Under 40, representing the most influential 40 people under the age of 40 in the Sacramento area. And then our digital product is designed to reach as many people as possible.
Right.
And our print product is designed to give people that tactile, in-depth experience of the news.
Yeah.
But it's really
Some of us still like holding the newspaper, right?
Got to have that
Yeah.
paper. People spend about 40 minutes a week reading our newspaper, the physical paper. But really the mission is about providing business intelligence and news to the business community so that they can increase their business.
Well, I get the digital emails, right, which is like a little snippets of breaking news. And I open every email because it's like it's always the latest and greatest on what's happening. A lot of times it's in entrepreneurship. Sometimes it's in larger businesses as well.
Right. Well, that's one of the number one ways people get to the Business Journal product is our morning and afternoon email.
Okay.
And it's all about the breaking news. The Business Journal used to be a Friday-only publication. Now it's a 5, 6, 7-day-a-week publication. Whenever the news breaks, we're pushing it out.
It's fantastic, and I think it's such a help for giving us this information, and you guys do such a great job. So thinking about the organization, you break it up, you've got your events, you've got your newspaper, and then you have your digital platform or your digital product.
Right.
Where do you spend your time? When you're in the zone, what are you working on? Because I see you everywhere. It's like you are at every event in Sacramento.
Well, I tell you where I don't spend my time. You'll never see me writing an article.
Okay.
I got experts that do that. Now, my name goes out on the email, but that's about putting a face on the Business Journal.
Okay.
Between you and me, don't tell anybody. I don't write any of them.
Okay.
I don't even hit the send button.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a great team that does that. My job, again, is connecting the business community. It's meeting the top leaders, connecting them together, introducing clients, prospects to people, each other, helping them develop their business.
Okay, and so
that's why you see me out.
Yeah, thinking about, I like how you've diversified into digital, if that's what we call it, or you're migrating into that. I love it, and I'm an old guy that still likes to, look at the newspaper, but I love the digital. It's quick and it's easy to work with. But the events, how many events do you do per year, and how, not just you personally attending other people's events, but the events that you guys put on, you help other people put on their events, plus you have your own events, right?
Correct. We do 12 signature events a year that we are editorial content. We control the content and the awards. We also will do what's called a custom event seminar for a client who says, we've got a message we want to put out there. We don't know how to do it. Well, we have an event arm that is an expert at doing events. So if the content is appropriate to our audience, we'll actually develop an event for a client and run it for them on their behalf for a small fee, of course.
Yes. Well, one of the events that you guys put on yourself is coming up, I think, next week or the week after, the Book of Lists night, right? And
Yes.
I happen to, so those you have done something so awesome in this Book of Lists, recognizing family businesses, recognizing the fastest growing businesses, recognizing different types of businesses. Each week in the Business Journal, there's a cool list that comes out. And I think most of us look to see, hey, do I know anybody on the list? How'd you come up with that idea, or what is that all about?
This again, it's about business intelligence. So many companies, and this goes back to Business Journals. Sacramento Business Journal has been in business 33 years.
Okay.
American City Business Journal is over 50 years old across the country. We have 40 business journals in 40 different markets. A lot of businesses ran their business but never knew where they stood vis-a-vis their competition. So the idea was, why don't we do the research and we can rank these businesses and they know where they are year to year vis-a-vis their competition. It's kind of like a Forbes 500, but it's for each local market, so we localize it. So that was a concept, and it turns out it's a unique selling proposition for the business journals, and we do it superbly. Our research director's been there 32 years.
Yeah, you do. I mean, I've had companies that have been in the Business Journal book of lists for this and that, fastest growing, privately held, largest, stuff like that. And I think we have one now that is on a few lists. But it feels good to get your name in the paper. Am I right?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So what do people, I mean, like, does that make people really, I would think that it attracts not just the people who are on the list, but it's the people who want to know who's who in the community.
Absolutely. You know what? It's a resource for business leaders to find out who they want to do business with, who's where on the pecking order. Imagine if you're an architect, okay, I'm just going to use an architect, and one year you rank 15th on the list, and the next year you rank 16th on the list.
Yeah.
Well, you want to know what happened, right?
You just motivated that guy.
Absolutely. Or you're on 13th on the list. You've moved up. What happened? What was the difference? And it gives each business that makes it to a list a chance to self-evaluate every year when their list comes out.
Well, I mean, the thing, I saw you last year at a number of events. What's some highlights from 2017? What were the great things that happened for you in the Business Journal?
Well, that's a tough question. Well, breaking the news on the Centene story recently was a huge story. I'd say our breaking news stories and our called our cover stories, our in-depth investigative stories that we run every week. It's a weekly thing. It doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're doing that kind of in-depth research and in-depth reporting, it means something.
Yeah.
I couldn't put a possible on one single event.
Well, I mean, is it tough to single out too? Like each week, you only have so much room in the newspaper. You're going to send so many emails out. Like this. Deciphering what is the breaking, really big news versus like, well, you know what, that guy just wants to get his name in the paper. How do you decide what goes in the paper?
It's got to meet three qualifications. It's got to be local. Okay, that's our number one qualification. It's got to be local. It's got to be business related. It's got to relate to more than just the industry in which we're reporting. Okay. So if we're going to do a commercial real estate story, it's got to relate to more than just a lot. Okay. So those are the things. And then the fourth thing is it exclusive? Do we have the front end on something that nobody else has? And that's part of what a great journalism product is in today's world. Content is king. You run content.
Well, I do, and I'm discovering. I'm dipping my toe into your world, and so I'm sitting here learning how it is done and doing it obviously on the radio, but. Thinking about your organization, and it's a larger organization, and you're the Sacramento Business Journal. Talk to us about the relationship with is it a parent company? How does that work? Are they separate entities?
We're actually, we have a parent company, American City Business Journal, is based in Charlotte, North Carolina. We're a private company. We are also a subsidiary of an organization you may have heard of called Condé Nast Publications and Advanced Communications.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They are publishers of Golf Digest, Condé Nast Traveler, Brides, Architectural Digest, one of the largest publishing companies in the world.
And so
based in New York.
So your view of what's going on in newspapers and media and so on, what do you see for the Business Journal, I'd say in 2018 and beyond?
I don't see much change for us, actually. We got to continue to do what we're doing well, and we just got to continue to do it better. Interestingly enough, in an area when most print publications are losing readership, we're down 0.05% in subscribers this year. But our digital readership is actually up almost 15% in unique users or unique visitors every single month. So we're growing our digital, and our print is shrinking minuscule. I mean, it's up flat, basically. So I don't see much change in that. What we got to continue to do at a really high level is find the stories that people want to hear about, respond to what they're telling us, and make sure we deliver more of it.
Well, let's talk about that. In the coming year, there's a lot of, it's almost like animal spirits right now in the economy, right? And Sacramento is not immune to this enthusiasm or confidence in growing businesses. It's starting to happen in a big way right here in Sacramento. What's that mean for news moving forward? What do you project out in terms of big things on the horizon in the way of news?
Well, as far as news, I don't think that changes a whole lot. Well, I think what's going to change is we're going to see an acceleration in commercial real estate development. There's $1 billion worth of projects that are entitled and in permit phase in the Sacramento core region, the four county region. $1 billion that's in the pipeline. That'll start getting underway. Okay, we've been waiting on a lot of these things to work through. That's going to increase the construction trades, where there's a huge shortage in the construction business right now. And that's slowing down the starts. So that's going to help. Then you're going to have employment go up as a result of that because you're going to have retail, mixed use, and so forth. That's going to bring in more population. We are primed for a population spike, I think.
Okay.
And we're definitely primed for a business start spike.
Yes.
The
new tax laws, too, I think encourage us to think about doing things that are more on the entrepreneurial side of things, right? Because the pass-through businesses, they got a little bit of a break there. Yeah. Okay, so thinking about, your life as the publisher is the Business Journal, that's one part of your life, but we were talking before the break about your family. You're a family man. Tell us about that.
Well, I've been married 29 years to the same woman, actually, which is kind of nice. I've got 2 daughters. That one lives in Southern California, one lives in San Francisco, and then we've got 2 girls that we've adopted that call us mom and dad. We're not legal adoptions, but we're kind of their parents, and they're in our lives as well. One lives here and one lives in Santa Rosa, works for Lagunitas.
Well, you told me, you told a group of us that you were giving a speech of sorts at the Innovation Awards that you were putting on one of your events, Sacramento Innovation Awards, and you got up at the end and shared with us your thoughts about innovation as relates to the arts. What were you thinking?
You know, Mark, we're talking about innovation as a mindset, okay? And as I'm listening to these great companies talk about how they got to where they are, it occurred to me that the arts are a cultural foundation. It's a mindset. The creativity that comes from the arts translates into the creativity that comes into growing new business, developing new business, innovating new business. If you can't envision being an actor or being another character, you can't ever envision in being a successful anything. So I think that culture in our community and to be able to have this culture of innovation in the arts, whatever they may be for the individual, translates into a culture of innovation in the business workforce as well.
Innovation, it is a mindset. I like the way you think. I love what you're doing for Sacramento, for the business community, for the entrepreneurs that I love. And so anyway, thank you very much for finally joining us on the HaneyBiz Project. After 2.5 years, we finally got you. David Lichtman, publisher of the Sacramento Business Journal. Coming up after the break, we will meet again, the human resources guru of Sacramento, Miss Kim Silvers, is in the house, founder and CEO of Silvers HR. Join the revolution at HaneyBiz.com, courtesy of Audi Rockland. This is the HaneyBiz Project.